What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another aircraft maintenance engineering cars exam practice questions. For you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Peter. I am a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer, and I help aircraft maintenance engineer apprentices to pass their cars exam 80% and above. So if you're an apprentice that need help with your cars examination, click the link in the description and book a consultation. Let me see how I can help you out. All right, so imagine if you're doing your examination and you get a question like this, right? Which of these following is not a flight authority? So A, you have special C of A. B, you have provincial registration. C, you have C of A. D, you have flight permit. So now let's understand some of these terminologies, right? Let's understand some of these terms. So first of all, we're going to look at flight authority. What is the flight authority? Now we're going to look at special C of A. We're going to look at provincial registration. Then we're going to talk about C of A. We're going to talk about flight permit. What is a flight authority? Flight authority, right? A flight authority, so for an aircraft to fly legally in Canada, right, the aircraft needs a flight authority. So a flight authority is a document, right, that shows that the aircraft is fit and safe to fly. So basically, a flight authority, it's a document, right? And this document can come in different, I would say in different ways, right? So we have different type of flight authority, which I'm going to talk about. And that is all based on the configuration of the aircraft, right? So now let's look at special C of A. One of the type of flight authority is special C of A. And what do I mean by special C of A? Special C of A is a special certification of airworthiness, right? So for special C of A, the aircraft, a C of A shows that the aircraft, it's safe and is fit and safe to fly, and it's in accordance with its type design, its type certificate, right? And for a C of A, which is the certification of airworthiness, there is no limitation. Once you have a C of A, right, it's for life. There's no limitation. You can fly anywhere. There's no condition once you have a C of A. But a special C of A, there is limitation. There's limitation. And one of the limitations with special C of A is you cannot use a special C of A. You cannot use an aircraft that have special C of A commercially, right? One of the limitations is commercial. So basically, an airline cannot use an aircraft that has special C of A. The reason why is either the aircraft have gone through some major modification that alters the type design, right? That alters the type design. So let's say, for example, an aircraft, let's say a military aircraft, right? A military aircraft can do all type of shit. A military aircraft can bank fucking 40 degrees, can go 90 degrees nose up. Like a military aircraft can do all type of shit, but they can't use it for commercial. That's why military aircraft has a special C of A, right? An aircraft that, let's say an aircraft that gone through a major modification. Let's say, for example, they change, like, for example, the cargo aircraft, for example, that's a perfect example, right? Cargo aircraft, usually, let's say a cargo aircraft, they don't make cargo aircraft. Cargo aircraft are modified for the purpose of cargo, right? So sometimes they usually change the skin, they change the doors, they change all type of stuff. So now that aircraft cannot be used commercially. Now that aircraft is going to have a special C of A, a special certification of airworthiness. But that special C of A is for life. Basically, a special C of A is for life, but has some restriction. And one of the restrictions is you cannot use it for commercially. You You can't use it for commercial aircraft. The second one I'm going to talk about is provision registration. Provision registration is like imagine if you buy an aircraft, like a car registration. You got it for your car, right? When you buy a car, you got to register your car, right? You don't technically need a provision registration to it's not a flight authority. A flight authority is a document that says the aircraft is safe and fit to fly, right? You registering your aircraft does not matter if the aircraft does not matter if the aircraft is safe to fly. Anyone can register this aircraft, right? So that's basically the provisional registration. Provisional registration does not matter if the aircraft is safe to fly. All you gotta do is just that ownership, basically. You saying, I am the owner of this aircraft, I am registering this aircraft, I am the owner, I'm registering this aircraft under my name. That is what provisional registration is. C of A is a type of flight authority, right? Another type of flight authority is C of A, right? I think I explained it earlier, right? C of A, it's a document that says all the aircraft is fit, it's safe to fly, and it's in accordance with its type design. Like I said, it's type design. And the type design, for you guys that don't know what the type design is, I've said it in the earlier course. A type design, whenever you have an aeronautic product, you got to submit the type design to Transport Canada. Transport Canada looks at the blueprint of the type design. They make sure the type design makes sense, make sure the type design is in accordance with the airworthiness, right? And once they approve the type design, they give you a type certificate. A type certificate shows that your aeronautic product, it's airworthy, it's fit, it's safe to fly, right? Certification of airworthiness is a type of flight authority. The last one I'm going to talk about is flight permit. Right? Flight permit is a type of flight authority. But in terms of flight permit is a temporary document. It's a temporary permit, right? That gives you the authority to fly an aircraft, but in a limited interval. So the maximum allowance of a flight authority is 12 months, right? So whenever you get a flight authority for a flight permit for an aircraft, you get max 12 months. 12 months. And why do you need to acquire a flight permit? I'll give you guys an example. Let's say, for example, an aircraft flies to Dubai, right? And the aircraft breaks down in Dubai, right? And let's say the issue of that aircraft, is something crazy. The aircraft cannot be fixed in Dubai. It's got to come to Canada to get fixed because we have the major part. It's going to cost way more money to fix it in Dubai. It's got to come to Canada to get fixed, right? So they're going to go because now the aircraft is not airworthy. It's not airworthy anymore. The aircraft is airworthy, but it's not in accordance with its type design, right? Let's say the type design is every button gotta be here, right? But now because the aircraft went to Dubai, this little button is not there anymore. But the aircraft can still function without this button, right? But because this button is not there anymore, now it has altered the whole design. It's not in accordance with the original design, right? So for you to bring that aircraft to Canada to get fixed, you need some type of flight authority for you to fly that aircraft. That is where flight permit comes in, right? And there are different type of flight permits. You have the experiment flight permits. You have the special purpose flight permits. The special purpose flight permit is another type of example of flight permit I'm going to give you guys. Let's say, Boeing or Bombardier, which is a Canadian manufacturing aircraft, they manufacture the new aircraft, right? The 7,500, for example, right? For them to test flight that aircraft, They don't have the COA yet. It's still in the process. They're still proving to Transport Canada why the aircraft is safe to fly. They need some type of document to fly that aircraft. They usually get a special purpose flight permit. So a flight permit can be used for experimental, can be used for recreation, can be used for all type of stuff, right? Right? And the maximum allowance of a flight permit is 12 months. So when it comes to this question, which of these following is not a flight authority? The A option is special COA, B provisional registration, C of A, D flight permit. The answer is provision registration. That is because to register your aircraft, right? Your aircraft does not have to be safe. The whole purpose of registration is to claim ownership of the aircraft, to put the aircraft under your name, right? But for a flight permit, a flight authority is a document, right, that says the aircraft is fit and safe to fly. The flight authority gives you the authority that allows you to fly that aircraft. And it states that it's a document that states the aircraft is fit and safe to fly it in accordance with its type design. All right? This is a common question they can ask you on CARS examination. This is a question I've seen people get it. All right? And if you're an apprentice that need help with your CARS examination, you need someone to guide you through, you need someone to give you the right information, you need someone to explain it to you, to prepare you for the examination so you can get 80% and above. Click the link in the description and book a consultation. Let me see how I can help you, all right? For you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Peter. I'm an aircraft maintenance engineer, and I have hundreds of videos regarding aircraft maintenance engineering on my channel and regarding CARS examination. So if you find my video helpful, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Love you guys.